Highlight films here of some of the players that I've made tapes for. This is my Destiny Dynasty DVD series. It's a teaching series that a lot of you can pick up on YouTube. This is a copy of what you'll see here at the school. This is our varsity board. Every week, the varsity board will change. You see these empty spaces here. Those are the awards every week, and your picture will go actually up on the varsity board for the awards that you win during the week. Copies of some of my books. What I believe a Lady Yellow Jacket is supposed to be. This is a little information about me. During the summer I teach at 5-star. This is Juan Blair, who plays for San Antonio. I work with a lot of NBA players. This summer I'm also going to Scotland to coach the Scotland national team. Just some cool stuff up here you can take a look at when you're done eating or whatever you want. And you can get as close as you want. When we run the DVD, it's going to be probably the last 25 minutes, and it's going to be a highlight to show you an example of a highlight film and an athlete that I coached that was a Mr. Michigan basketball nominee. Led the state in scoring in 1995 with 30 points a game. And he went on to make it big in the music industry. In fact, right now he's got a song number 5 on the rock charts. And so you'll see a little bit of that also on this DVD. So go ahead and grab something there, and hopefully everybody's got something to eat. And I'm going to start in about 5 minutes with some presentations. So if you haven't got pizza, go ahead. Mike, get some pizza. Come up and fill these seats if I could up into this area here. Can everybody hear me at this volume level? Yeah. Okay, good. Get used to it because I'm very loud. I'm a very loud coach. Did you have any problems hearing me last night, girls that were playing? No, I got my point across pretty much, didn't I? Good. Good. Hope everybody got enough to eat. If not, we got plenty still left over there. I want to introduce myself. I'm Coach DELAP, or Coach DELAP. It was Coach DELAP until Tyler's coach started calling him DELAP. And so, either way, just don't call me late for supper. That's all I ask. I have really bad jokes. When you want to get on my good side, laugh at everything. There we go. That's good. First, I'd like to introduce Robin, my wife. She's personal trainer, and she developed the Woman by Design program that's here for the total physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being of women. And I love what she had on her handout here. This is the one that was on the refrigerator, sorry. But it's Women by Design. Design stands for design, are destined, empowered, strengthened, inspired, gracious, and new. And if anybody has any problem with depression, hang around with her for about 25 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen her with anything other than a smile on her face. And she stood toe-to-toe with death, and she's won. She was married the first time for almost 25 years, and her husband died of a massive heart attack in her arms in North Carolina on the beach. And that's when I got to step into her life just a couple years later. And so I'm proud of her and everything she's accomplished, and I'm so glad to have her part of our ministry and part of our family here at Ithaca. Team is family, and family is team. And that's the way we run things. And so, Robin, I would like to have you come up and just greet them today.
Okay.
Talk loud.
Okay, yeah, that's not a problem for me.
We always say, if you like tattoos, you like me because I'm inked. But if you don't like tattoos, you like Robin because she's not. Okay, so.
He's random every now and then, so. Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
I will be helping with conditioning for anyone who wants to. I'm really excited that this whole community is really plugged into fitness because it's just such an integral part of everyday living and life, and you know, having energy to do. I have actually birthed 5 children. 3 of our girls are in the Carolinas, and my oldest is 27, and my youngest girl has just graduated from college, and she'll be getting married next month. And it's always been really important to me, you know, to just have energy for living. And I've come through a whole lot of things, you know, death, yes, but you know, there have also been health issues that have been changed around with, you know, nutrition and good eating choices, and fitness has just always been a part of my life. So I'm happy to do whatever, as much or as little, you know, just to be a support. And we're just really thrilled to have an opportunity to pour, as parents, I'm speaking to you now, to pour into your children's lives. It is an absolute privilege. We don't take it lightly, and it's something that we've been really making decisions about. You know, right now we're in Carson City, and we're about to be thrown out.
I don't know what it is. Everybody in Carson hates people. Right?
No, they don't. No, they do not. I'm just kidding. But it's probably a bit of a surprise for some of the people in Carson, because Mark has been just such an absolute help and blessing to the coaches there, and you know, wherever we're supposed to be is where we will be plugged into. So if there's ever anything I can do for any of you, just let me know. And like I said, I'm developing something very. I didn't really want to get certified in Zumba. I'm not certified in Zumba, but I'm perfectly capable of teaching something. I'm adapting something very, very similar to that. Just a little bit of Los Angeles praise that goes with it, because I'm originally from California. So anyway, that's enough said, and we are just thrilled. The thing about, you know, athletics is that it doesn't matter what level you're on. You know, I think the most exciting thing about anything that we step out and do is that it's a personal best, and that, you know, these are life skills that we're developing with, you know, discipline with athletics. I mean, you know, not everybody wants to go to college and do this and do that, but, you know, I know that he will pull, you know, the personal best, and you know, help mentor your girls. And I'm just totally excited. I know that there's a whole new mindset coming on to the girls, you know, as athletes, and we can play like girls. So thank you.
Also, she's got a handout. We're Robin and I, we're running the 5K. Our church sponsors a 5K every year. We came to this church about 4 years ago, and they had no pastor for a year. And since we've been there, we bought a brand new building, and things have grown like crazy. And we're having a 5K, so we're really into the running thing. She's run marathons. I haven't. Longest I've ever gone was a 16.5-mile race in Grand Rapids. But you want to run, talk to Robin. You want to walk, talk to Robin. You want to do Zumba, talk to Robin. She's like the expert in all that stuff. So thank you, honey.
It is in Ione this weekend, so.
If anybody wants to run. Okay. This is my second oldest son, and my first oldest son is playing in Missouri at Evangel College. My daughter played at St. Cloud College. She was an all-state basketball player in Minnesota. John was all-state in Minnesota. Tyler when he graduated from Carson, he ended up number 3 at Carson City in the school history for three-point shooting and three-point percentage, and he was only there for 2 years. He's now playing at ALMA College, and hopefully he'll jump into that starting rotation for varsity this year. That's what he's hoping for. He's an extremely accomplished basketball player, and I'm just really proud of him. So, go ahead, address the people.
Alright, I'll tell you a little about myself. I was never at Carson. I started my life on the west side of Michigan. I grew up in Fremont with a lot of adversity. So if you guys have ever gone through adversity, if you guys ever want to talk about that, you come to me. I've been through coaches where they told me that I'll never make it. They told me that I'll never play college ball.
Not me.
Not him. No, but they told me they benched me, they set me for games, just emotional abuse, physical abuse. It's just ridiculous. But growing up, I only had basketball. Basketball and family, that's all I had. So I clung to that more than anything, and that's where it's gotten me today. Came to Carson, basically it was like a 180. People love me, coaches love me, and it just really propelled me into something better. So played for Carson 2 years. Fun fact, I'm undefeated here at Ithaca High School.
I don't want us to get lynched here.
Throughout my whole life, he has been there for me, whether he's been in other states or he's been close to home. Yeah, I didn't grow up with my dad, but he's always a coach for me. I called him on the phone every single night. I talked to him about basketball. He is my coach. Anything I've ever done, I give him praise because he's the one that has taught me, has drilled me, has yelled at me, has helped me, and has looked me in the eye and told me you can't do it. So everything that I've learned, I give fully to him, nobody else. I'm gonna let you know that if you spend time with him, you will get better. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. You will be a better basketball player. It's gonna happen. You gotta give it time. If you feel like one day it's like just a real crappy day and you can't make a thing, or you're turning the ball over, yeah, he's gonna yell at you. For sure, he's gonna yell at you. But the next day, he'll be there again, pushing you forward, pushing you on, hoping that you'll make the right decisions, knowing that you'll make the right decisions. I've never seen a coach have so much faith in his players that he will go to the ends of the earth and he will trust in his players throughout all. So, trust him, he trusts you no matter what. Yes, I play at ALMA. That's pretty much all I have to say.
That's good.
All right, Troy.
Oh gosh.
Troy, I'm going to make you stand up right there then. Troy's our shy boy. He's going to be a 9th grader this year, and he just played your Ithaca JV team. He was on a team with all freshmen. Carson's going to have all freshmen on their JV team this year because they're not going to have a freshman team. And he tore it up this last weekend, but if we move to Ithaca, or when we move to Ithaca, he will be one of the future basketball players here. And it'd be kind of interesting because I would be coaching Jim Thompson's 9th grade daughter, and he would be coaching my 9th grade son. So, so that's Troy. He's not saying anything back there, and I promised his mom that I wouldn't embarrass him. So, but he's a great ball player. And my other son, who's going into 7th grade, he did make it, right? Into 7th grade, Seth? He's running the camera back there. And he's probably going to be about 6'7" by the time it's all said and done. He can't even wear my shoes anymore because his feet are too big. So for a 7th grader, that's going to be good. Tell Jim I have a lot of hope for this one right here. So that's Seth. Do you want to say anything, Seth? No? You're not hunting for a wife or anything? No? Okay. I promised I wouldn't embarrass him. I didn't say anything about Seth. So, all right. I worked with Mike Smith down in Carson City. I've known him for a couple of years, and Mike's going to assist me this year. So, Mike, do you have anything to say to the parents and the kids?
I'll make it real short. Girls, you're going to love this guy. He is a teacher, and he can teach basketball like nobody I've ever seen. And again, he cares so much for you girls already. We went to Maury Courts. We had 7 girls play 4 games last night, and you know what? He got them play hard all 4 days. I mean, I could see them buy into what he wanted to do right away. And they know that things are going to be good this year and in the future. Great family. I'm just glad to be part of the program. You know, I'm very excited, and I think once you see everything that's going on, the teaching, the coaching, I think you're going to be very happy. I know the girls are, so. But anyway, I'm just happy to be here. I think it's a great program.
Well, we're certainly happy to have you on board. Before I go any further, the Lady Jacket interviews start Thursday and Friday. Everybody's got a personal interview sheet. You've got to sign up for a time. I will go over things on the personal interview with you. I want your report card because I'm as interested getting into your heads to find out where you are academically as you are on your basketball court. I have never had a basketball player not graduate, ever. And I've sent a lot into college programs. If I have a student that's not doing well in school and is doing well on the basketball court, they're going to do a real good job on the bench on the basketball court because I think grades are first and foremost in my mind. I'm very academically driven. So I want your report card. We're going to ask questions on that. You'll see the sheets that you picked up tonight. If you didn't get one, you need to see me afterwards. But we ask questions like, how do you want me to react when you make a mistake? How do you want me to react to you when you make 2 mistakes? How do you want me to react to you when you are in such a fog? How do you want me to slap you back into reality? And I use that as a metaphor. I've never hit a student ever. But I will get in your face if that's what you respond to. In our interviews, preseason interviews, I find out what you respond to. When you make a second mistake, Lindsay, do you want me in your face screaming at the top of my lungs? Or do you shut down like that? I need to know that. I need to get into your mind. I need to get into your head. You know, I had a parent one time say, well, how come you're yelling at my kid and you're not yelling at the other one? And I pulled her kid out of the stands and I said, come here. Let's talk to your dad for a minute. Let's pull out your interview sheet. What did you tell me is going to be what you require of me as a coach in a critical situation? And I need to know that. So I need to know your makeup. I need to know how far I can push your boundaries. I need to know how far I can challenge you. I need to know what shuts you down, and I need to know what wakes you up. This is very important in any basketball program, and it's very important in any family. I think we're successful parents because we know what our kids respond to. So this is a sign-up sheet, so make sure that you sign up on this for a time with me. It's a 20-minute session, and then I will also do skills evaluation. I want to know if you can shoot a jump shot. I want to know if you can shoot off the left-hand dribble. I want to know if you can shoot off the right-hand dribble. And I want to know if you can pass off the move. I want to see if you can shoot off the pick. I'm going to find out everything about you that I need to know. All right. Do we have Lisa or Coach McDonald here tonight? I haven't seen them. Okay. I think our 7th and 8th grade programs are very important, and even down into our elementary program. When I take over a program, I take it over all the way down to kindergarten. To build a successful program, we have to be successful down there. And part of being successful down there is this group right here. We need to go get them. We need to go get them. Now, my history a little bit. I went to high school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was raised in Milwaukee during a great time. I watched Super Bowl champions there. I watched NBA champions there. I saw NCAA champions there. I had a great upbringing. Got to watch Hank Aaron hit home runs out of County Stadium. That lets cat out of bag that I'm ancient. Some of you don't even know who Hank Aaron is. Went to a Class A high school in Milwaukee, actually in Menominee Falls. We had 1,500 in our high school, and they had 1,500 in the high school across town, so we had a large town. I graduated from high school, and I had a music scholarship and an athletic scholarship to play basketball at the University of Wisconsin. I went to the University of Wisconsin at Eau Claire and was redshirted the first year I was there. That meant that I could practice with the team, but I couldn't play with the team. And I was a little bit discouraged. And I too went through some of that discouragement as a player. And I was one of those that was cut from a team when I was younger. Cut from a basketball team. Me, cut from a basketball team. Are you kidding me? That happened. But you know what? It made me stronger, it made me better. After freshman year, I was getting all excited because I was going to be able to jump right into their starting lineup as a sophomore. Got home freshman year, was wrestling around with a friend from Marquette University and a friend from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and we were doing wrestling moves like most college freshman boys do in Wisconsin when we don't have anything else to do. And he got me in a friend of mine got me in a pile driver, and he jumped down, slammed to his knees, and I tried to pick my neck up at the same time and snap my face into my chest. Broke my neck, and the doctor said I'd never walk again. I was 19 years old. I was laying in a circle bed at 19 years old, realizing that possibly my entire life was over. But when somebody tells me what I'll never be able to do, I'm the kind now that I can say, I dare you to tell me what I can't do, and I'll show you that I can do it. And I want to instill that same thing in you. So I broke my neck when I was at 19. They said I'd never walk again. By the time I was a senior, I rehabilitated myself, played college basketball, and I also got into coaching college basketball. And I actually didn't have enough numbers to be drafted any higher than being drafted in the European Pro Leagues, but I was drafted to play in Australia, in New South Wales, to play and coach there. I coached college ball at the University of Wisconsin. I ended up staying on and coached their men's JV team there, so I have experience coaching in college. My major and minor is in education and in coaching. So, you know what, I'm not coaching just because I like it. I'm coaching because that's what I was trained for. That's what I'm all about. I went into education just so I could coach college basketball. Just so I could coach any basketball. I didn't care. First team I coached was a little 7th and 8th grade team from the Parks and Rec department at Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We lost our very first game. We were called the Eau Claire Bananas. I remember I went out and got these yellow t-shirts from Kmart and sewed on letters so they had uniform. And we lost the first game I ever coached. That was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because I promised myself I didn't want to let a team lose because of my inabilities ever again. And I think it made me a stronger coach, and I coached college basketball. When this 8th grade team, we took to the Junior Prep National Tournament in Phoenix, Arizona. We took 9th out of 300 teams down there in the Junior Prep. I'm all about playing after the season's over. I'm all about AAU. I'm all about getting your kids involved in as much as they want to get involved in. Now I know that once you get into high school, there's so many coaches pulling at you. Softball and basketball and football and volleyball and everything else. And I want to remind you that everything's got to be done in a balance. And before you actually get to your, let's say your junior year, you should really experience as much of that as possible. As much as possible. Find out where your strength is. Find out where you want to go with your life. I'm not one of those coaches that says, no, you can't play any other sport. I encourage you to play the other sports. I encourage my sons to do something in the fall, because I'm one of those coaches that doesn't believe that this is the only activity they should get in their life. Because they got real strong thumbs. That doesn't help them in the rest of the areas of their lives. After I graduated from college, I went in and I coached women's professional basketball. I coached women's professional basketball in the old Women's Professional Basketball League. I coached the Minnesota Phillies. It was the last year they had the women's pro leagues. The league went defunct after that. Now the WNBA is an offshoot of that I coached at. My college coach was also Tom Izzo's college coach. So that's how I have my, you look at my book here and you'll see it's been signed by Tom Izzo and Don Meyer, who's the winningest college basketball coach in the history of college basketball. I've got a lot of good friends, got a lot of good mentors. Steve Kirk, who was my coached for the Nebraska Wranglers, who won the World Professional Basketball League Association for Women 2 years in a row. If we drop Puamo in our district this year, you can be sure I'm going to be sending him a DVD of Puamo to ask him to pick his brain on what we can do to beat them. High school, when I went out to high school varsity, I had my first won my first state championship with a team in Minnesota. Feels good to lift the state banner, state championship banner. I know what it's like to get them there. And it's going to take a lot of work. 5 times I was nominated for the state's coach of the year for boys varsity. I had the state's leading scorer in 1995. He was also Mr. Michigan basketball nominee. That had to be marketed. He also played in the BCAM All-Star game, so that's kind of fun to have an athlete there. I had 4 teams in the top. I had 4 teams in the top 3 for schools academically in the state of Michigan. So 4 years in a row, I was either in 1, 2, or 3rd place as far as academically. I want our academics to be there. I want our academics to be solid, so that if little Katie comes to me and says, you know, I'm not doing so good in math, little Katie gets a student tutor. She wins herself a student tutor. And that student, and I'm not going to go to Katie and say, how are you doing in math? Because Katie can forget about what she's doing in math, but you know what? Your student tutor is the one I'm really going to ride hard to make sure that your math grade is up. So we will get you the grades that you need to stay active and stay healthy. I had players to go on to play college basketball. I prepared them for college basketball and successful careers. I coached 3 players that went to the NBA. I took time off to mentor my sons and to be more involved in their careers in the last several years. And after a family meeting, they told me that I had given a lot of my life to them, to watch their games, to coach them personally. And they told me in this little time with them that it was time for me to go back and coach for myself now, to do something for me. And so that's why I went back into coaching. Volunteered for the past 4 years at Carson City. I'm a veteran coach of 5-star basketball camp in Pittsburgh. Have the experience mentoring both players and young coaches there. I was chosen to be a premier coach and lecturer this summer in Scotland, where I'll be coaching their national basketball camp and lecturing there in Scotland. Finally, I was most recently in the 3-on-3 mixer at CCC, and up until the 4th round, Tyler's laughing, I was tied with my son for first place. He won the whole thing, but Dad wasn't far behind. I have a standing steak dinner for anyone who can still beat me at the free throw line. Who's my son who still can't beat me at the free throw line? Here in middle age, I'm still shooting between 92 and 96%. I can only give Ithaca 20 years because I'm planning my training schedule to go to the Senior Olympics for basketball. I want to be the oldest living basketball player in history. Now remember, that sounds funny, but you're talking to a guy that they told at 19 that he'd never walk again. At 39, when I had a heart attack, they said I better start getting sedate. The next year I ran the old kit 25K, and I've run it 4 times in this past decade. Go ahead, I dare you to tell me what I can't do. You're going to be able to say someday to your grandchildren, see that guy playing on television there? He was my coach at one time. Team is family, and family is team. We do preseason interviews, so sign up. We will have weekly film sessions and pizza. That's usually done at the coach's house. Right now we're still living in Carson, but we are looking for a place to relocate here to the Ithaca system. We actually came here 2 years ago to look for a house. We found that old pink house down on Jeffrey Street. We really wanted that house. It was for sale for 2 years. We went and looked at it the other day, and we find out somebody's got a purchase agreement on it. So, so we're praying that falls through because we really like to come.
No, we're not. No, we're not. That would be nice.
This handout here is a representation of our varsity board. I showed you that already. Take a look at that. After every practice, we do what's called journaling. Don Meyer, coach at Northern States, really turned me on to this. They will get a practice sheet that looks like this. Behind this in their notebook, they will have their journal. And the questions that they will have to answer every day in practice. The last 10 minutes of practice, we take time to journal. to find out what they did and what they want to do, and I'm confident. So they have to tell me one drill they liked, one drill that they detested, one thing that they learned today that they never learned before, one thing that they did well, one thing they need to work on, a plan for what you need to work on. It's not enough to tell me this mic dribbling really stunk today. You need not to tell me the problem or the symptom, but you need to give me a diagnosis. How would you like to go to a doctor and a doctor says, well, you got a cold, and then you pay them and then you leave? No, how do I get rid of it? You need to help me figure out a way to plan for your success. And then there's a note to self, if needed. So that's part of the practice sheet that you'll work on every day. We also have a game evaluation sheet. After every game, you will evaluate your game. And I will evaluate your game and we'll talk about it. I want to know what you think of how you play. Okay? And depending upon how you think you play, that'll be in direct proportion to what we do the next week in our practice. For the parents, we have what's called the Yellow Jackets Parents Night. That's in the notebook. Find that in the notebook for you. Tuesday, November 22nd. I've already got it set for this year. And what it says here is your kids have been working hard, so they want you to feel their pain. So we're going to invite you to a Parents Night practice. You're going to come dressed in comfortable shoes, tennis shoes, and we'll be showing off some of our drills and asking you to participate. Although this is not mandatory, we highly suggest it. You're going to meet the new team, you're going to hear what we should do and take part of and what we do as a team. Refreshments will be served afterwards.
You can have oxygen.
Hopefully they'll have defibrillators there. If you look like you're getting a little bit tired, I might have to sit you. I don't know. I've never had a parent die yet. One of the fun fundraisers that I invented at North Muskegon High School that I want to bring here to Ithaca High School is called the Charity Stripe Classic. And it's at the beginning of the season for the boys and the girls. It's a fundraiser for both boys and girls. We go around and we ask the varsity girls to shoot free throws in a competition with their dads against the varsity boys and their moms. So it's varsity boys and their moms against varsity girls and their dads. And we have a night where we have a complete competition. We have door prizes from all the businesses in town. It's going to be a great night of fun and family and participation. Here's one of the awards. When you get to your notebooks, and again, we've got some extra. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more copies of the notebook on CD out here. We'll have more of those for you. I thank Tom McDonald, who's going to be doing the printing for our notebooks this year and helping me out with the cost. That is a hefty notebook. And so for Tom to take that on, it was just an awesome thing for me. And I thank also Main Street Pizza, who helped us out tonight with the cost of the pizzas. This is one of the best awards I give out. It's called the Coach's Old Shoe Award. Now we have different awards. We have the MVP and the most valuable player and the best offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, 6th person of the year, here would be the 6th woman of the year. But this is the most prestigious award I give out. It's called the Coach's Old Shoe Award. And it is actually one of my old tennis shoes. After each practice, this shoe is worn and sweat-soaked, and although it doesn't look designer, it served me well and it was so comfortable that I just couldn't throw it out. It represented a season of memories that I couldn't part with or say goodbye to. It goes out to the player who may not be the most talented, but who has the most heart, and has a work ethic that is unmatched by others his age. This player is a gym rat. This player doesn't come out of practice looking like ready for prom. Doesn't care about how her hair looks or that her knees and practice clothes are bloody from diving for loose balls. She put her team above herself, above her appearance, above her own esteem. She sacrificed sleep in the mornings to get up and shoot the extra free throw. She She sacrificed her body by taking the charges and diving for loose balls. She literally threw herself into the game. While all the other kids were winning shiny trophies, this young woman of character has a collection of loose teeth, bandages, and empty icy hot containers. She is not above shedding tears with a teammate who has just missed the winning shot or whose mom is undergoing cancer treatments. She shares the weight of blame even when she was error-free. She willingly took a spot on the bench and became a cheerleader when she realized she wasn't the right fit for the game situation. She is truly the anchor that held our team through the storms and the one who had championed this team. That is the most prestigious award I give out. I've been giving out old shoes, and I have old shoes in trophy cases all over this country. I had a kid from Texas call me that I had coached in the 1980s. And he got a hold of me finally after all these years and said, "Coach, I've been trying to figure out where you are. I wanted to call and let you know I've just given out my 5th old shoe this year." And so the tradition continues. And it's a cool thing to have. It's just a cool thing to have. Now, remember the handouts, game critique sheets, parents' night, awards, camps, 5-star. I coach at 5-star in Pittsburgh at Robert Morris University during the summer, and I will be going in July for that. And we've also established a new girls' camp this year in Louisville. It's a 5-star camp. Now, 5-star is where we hang out with the NBA players. You know, I've shot free throws with Michael Jordan and with LeBron James and beat Dwayne Wade at the free throw line. I can actually say that. I like to say that. You can say it too about me. But Louisville is a 3-day camp, 3-day 5-star camp. It's going to be going on this summer from July 14th through the 16th. It's a very exclusive camp. It's a very high-end camp. Usually they charge $525 for the camp because of the college coaches they bring in. These athletes are getting top looks from some of the college coaches in some of the colleges. Because I'm a veteran coach there, I can get my kids in for $400. And that still seems like a lot, but again, it's something you might want to think of in your future. I market my players, as you can see by the DVDs, and I want to market this program internally and externally. What's the thing that you hate worst on any basketball team? Maybe somebody said it. What? Drama. Do not want drama on this team. We do not want preconceived notions of somebody on this team. I don't care what somebody said about somebody or this one said that about somebody. That's not healthy. If you parents think that I as a coach am totally in left field, and you attack me to one of your girls, you just shot this program in the foot. You got to be careful what you say around your kids. And what we want to start to build here, our theme for this year is building a foundation. 2011, 2012. We're building it right here and right now. And if we don't get the state, I guarantee you we will. You're going to be one of the building blocks that said, I wasn't part of the team that went there, but I was one of the building blocks that got it started. I was one of the foundational blocks. And that's very important. So, externally, one of the greatest marketing things that we can do is have you guys market to the younger kids, to your friends, parents marketing to one another, marketing to the community. One thing that I saw in Carson that I didn't like was the negativity in the community. That's one thing that'll just absolutely put it down. Oh, they're never any good. They'll never be any good. I don't know. We never get anybody coming to the games. You never get anybody coming to the practices. Let's change that. Let's change it. You don't like something? Can't change the weather, but you can change the attitude and the climate in Ithaca concerning girls basketball. That's the crucible that you've been asked to carry. Are you going to carry that with me? Yeah? Are you sure? Are you going to? Yeah? And you're not going to be nervous about it either, are you? I want you to take a look at this. It's got a little bit of the highlighting. I'll kind of comment over top of it. Troy, I want you to come and set this up for me. See? I had him set this up because not only is it his PlayStation. Oh, by the way, I'm old school. I don't text. If you text me, you will get a voice call back to you. Because when I press, I want to say cool, and I press the C and it's like CA. So if you want to get a hold of me, voicemail me.
Mom.
This is Lee Kakati. Led the state in scoring in 1995. That's him singing. He's a singer now for a group called Pop Evil. Can you turn that up a little bit, Troy? He got a number 5 song right now. It's called 155. That's his song. Now, am I a Pop Evil fan? Is that my type of music? No. But he's one of my kids. When your kids become successful, you just jump on board.